It's it's one of the moments that I always wait for because I really want to express something that is so tangible so that people can be able to receive the truth about life, the truth about relationships, the truth about even spirituality. But today I'm going to talk about why cheating feels unforgivable. 8 brutal truths. And those are the truths that so many people, most of the time, don't get into them because they don't want to speak it as it is. So I won't take much of your time because I believe when it is short, it's probably sweet. And that is why I want to dispense this moment, this information, so that it can reach you. So, number one, the reason as to why cheating feels unforgivable, it's because it breaks the foundation of trust permanently. What do I mean? Remember, trust is the invisible glue of any relationship. Once it's shattered, even moving on feels like walking on broken glass. What do I mean? When people get into relationships, they have this hope and this desire to achieve something that is true and definite. But one of the things that makes the relationship lose its essence, it's when people get into it and they are committed just 50-50, and they don't want to give 100 in that relationship. And that is why most of the time you find the issue of infidelity. And many people cannot get it right because they tend to lose the essence of that relationship. What do I mean? It is very, very visible for each one of us to get into the place of understanding why relationships require a stability that is founded on integrity. Why do people cheat? People cheat because they choose to. Cheating is not something that someone wakes up one morning and says, you know what, I felt, but it is a choice that someone makes over time and they want to do it and they want to prove a point to their partner. What do I mean? You know, anytime you cheat to your on your partner, anytime you do those things and you don't want to accept the reality that you're doing them, what you're doing, you are trying to walk on broken glasses. Remember, your marriage will lose its taste because who wants to be in a relationship whereby infidelity is the order of the day? Once again, I want to tell you, you didn't just betray the person, you made that person to doubt your judgment. And that is why that relationship is not going anywhere. Number two, cheating isn't a mistake, it's a choice. Cheating isn't a mistake, it's a choice. It takes planning, texting, meeting, lying, hiding. Have you ever noticed one thing? Couples, how they work together. You find that there's one partner in that relationship. That person will be called by either their ex or someone is trying to hit on them. And they know very well that this person is hitting on them. But they will never stop that kind of flirting at that particular moment because at the end of the day it is something they're excited of. So it takes planning, texting, meeting, lying, hiding. If you get to find that your woman is so comfortable with that very person, remember something is off because they are comfortable because of the words that are being shared, comfortable because of the things that are being, presented in that relationship, and they don't care anymore. They want to give whatever they feel within them. We know women, they are loyal to their emotions. So whenever they give themselves 100% emotionally. Unlike men, most of the time, they hit and run. They do it because they just want to satisfy themselves at that particular moment. Am I advocating for such? No. All I'm saying is it takes integrity not to do such things so that you can be able to live a life that is founded on grounds that are true and definite. So I want to tell you one thing. That's not an accident, it's a series of intentional decisions. If your partner is cheating on you, doing those things, remember, those are series of intentional decisions. You know, I'm looking on this side because I put these things down so that I can be able to help us. So you didn't sleep, you stepped and you kept stepping. That is what you did, and that is why you're walking on the path of infidelity. Number three, it creates invisible scars that time alone can't heal. when you're cheating on your partner, when there's infidelity. What do I mean? Even if the partner stays, the mental images, comparison, and loss of safety stay longer than the apology. So it is important for you to understand, my dear brothers and sisters, that when it comes to infidelity in a relationship, it creates invisible scars. You can never see them, and time can never heal them at that time, because those are memories that this person will keep on having. Those are things that your partner will keep on having within them, and they will never allow themselves to be a part of what is true and definite. Why? Every hug feels hollow, every kiss feels questioned, because the truth of the matter is you can never achieve substance in your relationship if you're not working on it. Number 4, it's emotional abuse dressed in pleasure. When you're cheating on your partner, that is emotional abuse, that which it has been dressed in pleasure. What do I mean? Cheating is not just betrayal, it's psychological warfare. Cheating is not just betrayal, it's psychological warfare. It gaslights the faithful partner and damages their self worth. And most people don't agree with that reality. Most people don't accept this truth, because that is what you want to do to your partner. That is what you want to bring down to that level whereby you never think of yourself, never think of your partner. So when you're messing up what you're doing, you're damaging your partner and damaging yourself. Why? Because all the time you keep on complaining and arguing that your partner is not giving you to the fullest. It is because you are not giving it right. You made your partner feel like they were not enough when you were the one who had lacked character. That is what happens most of the time. So, number 5, forgiving doesn't equal forgetting, and that becomes its own prison. What do I mean? Once again, even if one forgives, the mind remembers. Rebuilding a life with someone who broke it becomes a daily emotional tug of war. That is what happens every other day. So it is important for you, my brothers and my sisters, to walk and be in a part of life or in a journey whereby this kind of life makes it better for the both of you to enjoy the benefits of being in a relationship. You cannot enjoy a good relationship if you're not willing to do it right. So you can say that you've forgiven your partner has forgiven you because of the things that you have done. But the truth of the matter is forgiving doesn't equal forgetting, and that becomes its own prison, and your partner becomes a person that cannot enjoy that relationship, because each day she loses that ability to trust you, ability to work with you, and to journey with you in this life. So forgiveness is holy, and we understand that, but staying in circle is self destruction. Staying in that area, it is self destruction. Point number 6, it introduces third party trauma into a two-person covenant. When you cheat, you don't just break a promise, you bring another person's soul, energy, and drama into what was meant to be sacred. So every time you're doing what you're doing, every time you're messing up, every time you're found in infidelity, you are losing that ability to be trusted. Like I said, you bring another person's soul, energy, and drama in that relationship, and you think you are making something beautiful out of that relationship. So this bed was made for two. Now it's spiritually crowded. So it was made for two. And you know, the scriptures tells us that the bed of marriage should be undefiled, should remain undefiled. But you have defiled the bed of marriage, and that is what you keep on doing. Number 7, it exposes the lack of emotional maturity and respect. Cheating says, I have no self control, I don't value your presence, I don't fear losing you. It proves that desire was more important than loyalty. Do you see what I mean? Every time you're cheating on your partner, you're breaking something in them. And every other day, when you're trying to make that relationship, it will never become, because your only thought is selfishly focused on you, and you cannot become what your partner deserves or desires to achieve In order for you to grow and become, you have to do what is right. So I conclude with the number 8, which says some violations don't deserve a second chance. Some violations don't deserve a second chance. Just like certain crimes have life sentences, some relationship violations are too deep to undo. So if you're going through such kind of things, you have to weigh, because there are things that you can never redo, you can never remake, you can never change, you can never make it better, because at the end of the day you're thinking that you can make things better, make things right, but you're losing the ability to change things in that relationship. So you don't, some things that happen in that relationship don't deserve a second chance. Why? Cheating isn't just wrong, it's sometimes irreversible. Sometimes you just have to understand whatever you're doing to your partner, the kind of issues that you're presenting to your partner, those things can never be because what you're trying to do, you're trying to prove that you can change situations in that relationship, but you're not. My final word is this: forgiveness is a spiritual decision, but reconciliation is a relational choice. You can forgive someone and still know they no longer belong in your life. Love forgives, but wisdom walks away. Don't be a victim of infidelity when people are not willing to change and to deliver themselves from those kinds of issues that they try to present in that relationship. Take responsibility. Infidelity, cheating, and whatever kind of mess that people try to bring in a relationship, it is not the way to go. Take the initiative to do what is right and be responsible.